I know that this is gonna sound completely crazy, but hear me out. I have been right about this stuff before. Asha told us that she is gonna take out the trash at Xbox, and Bethesda just got hit harder than if the studio would have gotten shut down. And this is gonna lead to the Elder Scrolls 6 probably being a ready game in the next 3 to 4 years. And everything is pointing in that direction. Look at all of this stuff that we have here. Bethesda has officially announced that they are no longer going to concentrate on garbage like Starfield. Starfield is completely gone and out of the picture. It's still going to be their IP, and maybe we're going to see something in the next 10 years. But for now, it's completely gone. It's on ice. In fact, everything associated with Bethesda that is not Fallout, not the Elder Scrolls, is pretty much completely just gone, and no one's gonna be working on it. The crazy part is, by the way, about this, that no one got fired. The firings at Bethesda, personnel-wise, are barely there. Only a couple of tens of people got fired, while other studios literally got completely demolished. This is insane. And while all of this is happening, Todd, the literal spokesperson, the face of Bethesda, is nowhere to be seen. He's not doing interviews. He's not promoting anything. He's just gone. Todd's gone. No one knows where he is. He's gonna be a missing person on the milk carton soon. It is absolutely insane. And then we have this, an IGN article, an interview with the boss of Bethesda. And by the way, Bethesda's boss, if you're wondering, is not Todd Howard. It's this woman. Yes, I know, kind of surprising, isn't it? But yes, this is technically the person in charge of Bethesda. It's kind of crazy. The boss of Bethesda has told staff the company must now focus on its strongest franchises. Today, Microsoft announced 3,200 staff are set to lose their jobs at Xbox across the current financial year, with 1.6k of those layoffs happening today. This is absolutely massive. So many studios got hit, but Bethesda has not been touched, because Bethesda lost something more valuable. You know why Todd's not here? You know why currently everyone's referring to her as the boss of Bethesda, even though previously it would be our small 5'2" friend Todd? That's because Bethesda just fully lost its autonomy. There is no more Xboxes gonna allow Bethesda to do whatever the hell that they want. It's gonna be Bethesda does what Xbox tells them right this minute. And that is fully concentrating on Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout. First, probably Elder Scrolls, then it's Fallout. There is a chance that both games get released simultaneously or close to each other, because there's going to be a split off what, who does what. But in any case, the situation is absolutely massive. Bethesda has completely lost autonomy, and this whole article and everything that's happening is going to prove it. Oh, yeah. Bethesda is hit particularly hard by the layoffs. IGN understands that the staff across its many development studios, and by the way, this is development studios, Bethesda as the whole entity has been hit pretty hard. But that's going to be stuff like Doom, Indiana Jones, the Elder Scrolls Online, and things like that. More about that a little bit later. But this is what they mean when they say Bethesda has been hit. Because Bethesda proper, Bethesda that we all know and talk about, has not gotten hit almost at all. Just a couple of people have gotten fired. I think it's like 35 in total. That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing. And yet, Starfield literally has been axed. The studio either already told they are cut or facing an uncertain future. In an email to Bethesda staff sent following Sharma's memo. To the successful in the future, to be successful in the future. Wow, words hard. I know. We need to change course. Brafs continued again. This is the person sending it out. It's not even Todd. It's not even Todd, because this is the whole of Bethesda. Todd only is responsible for a small part of Bethesda, technically. We must strengthen our business, return to sustainable growth, and ensure we can continue investing in our franchise and our players. I know that doesn't make a day like this any easier, but what does that actually mean beyond the layoffs at the likes of id Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, elsewhere at Bethesda, without naming games? Braff said, uh, to be, uh, position Bethesda for future growth, we are shifting from planning a planning model primary centered on what's next for each individual studio, to one that focuses on our strongest franchises and determining the content roadmap that best serves our players at Bethesda as a whole. This effectively just means everything is gone except Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and we already knew this as a rumor previously. When the idea was that anyone who's not working on the Elder Scrolls or Fallout is gonna get fired. Well, it turned out a little bit differently, but it's still pretty much that. From there, we'll assign the right talent, technology, like Bethesda has any technology, and resources across the organization to deliver our priorities, Braff added. Yeah, this sounds like some Ubisoft memoing. IGN has already explored how the changes at Bethesda mean focusing on big hitters such as the Elder Scrolls Fallout, leaving Starfield potentially in the cold, with Microsoft planning to sell or close Arcane Leon. Marvel's Blade may fall the wayside to be published elsewhere. The Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios has already signaled content roadmap changes with fewer staff. 50% of them are gone, by the way, following the layoffs. Meanwhile, id Software, developers of the Doom games, has suffered significant cuts. And all of this goes, by the way, exactly in the line as I have been saying before. Doom Eternal broke even. People liked it, was a good game, probably has made a decent profit about this time. Doom The Dark Ages. 31k peak players. On release, garbage. Again, Doom Eternal had 100k, 105k almost. And people were trying to say, oh no, Doom Dark Ages actually is doing well. Is it? Half the studio is cut and gutted. The future of Doom is not looking bright, and you know what? They deserve it. Indiana Jones, gone. Okay? This was by Machine Games. Indiana Jones, 12k peak players. Dead in literally 2 days, by the way. People are trying to say that this is a success. The Elden Scrolls Online getting absolutely shafted after their disastrous approach to the game, removing classes and kind of going full blown woke. Okay, remember the stuff that we got 4 or 5 years ago in this game, testosterone filled, and now literally. By the way, if you don't know, this is hilarious, but canonically, this game has made that the Elder Scrolls gods are either gay or trans or non-binary. Yes, this is why this game is failing, because it's literally just, it's just filled with political pandering. No word about Fallout 76, by the way, which, again, I told you that it's gonna probably get hit pretty hard. It's gonna get closed because Fallout 76 numbers are unsustainable. They wanted to close it around here, and around here it was a better player count than right here. And the reason that they're not doing this, in my opinion, is because there's already stuff that they have made, so they're effectively just waiting to release it. Plus, there's Fallout Season 3, so, they know that they're gonna get at least some form of money, probably. That this is not a full-blown loss for them. So, Fallout 76 is gonna survive as long as, and not be cancelled before Season 3 of the Fallout TV show, obviously. which is probably going to be at this point not even worth talking of a bump, honestly, considering how everything is going. This was the first TV show bump, this was the second. The difference is brutal, okay? Absolute destruction. With such a reduced with such a reduced headcount, ID Software may be left to support other games in development at Bethesda, such as a machine games Wolfenstein 3. Wolfenstein 3, by the way, for some reason is happening. I don't know how, considering the Wolfenstein franchise is a complete vogue joke at this point. But they can't. I guess I can't. Well, they. The reality is they can't just shut down everyone, honestly, at this point. So they're gonna keep something. And no studios that are gonna release games are currently shut down, like for example, Undead Studios with State of Decay 3. It's gonna get published, even though there are announcements about that, and it's a hilarious one, but that's for a different video. In any case, all of this, there's not a lot of point to read any of this when it's left. Oh, the only probably interesting part about this is I don't know how, I don't know why, but meanwhile with Xbox hammering on the door of Fallout, New Vegas developers Obsidian, which is without confirmed new projects, following the commercial failure of last year's Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. I don't know where they're getting this. Is this from the interview? Is this from what? But the rhetoric about the Outer Worlds and Avowed was always, oh no, it's actually going really well. It made a profit. It was good. Yeah, I know. These people lie a lot. It's just activists trying to pretend that Avowed and Outer Worlds succeeded. It didn't. But this is very interesting that IGN, probably on accident, is actually saying that Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 failed. Because they did. There's no way that they sold enough to even cover like 1/10 of their development cost. Now, granted, Xbox fully paid for that development cost, but still, it is pretty hilarious. In any case, Bethesda has been absolutely, completely obliterated and gutted by this. Todd is nowhere to be seen, and they're just abandoning Starfield. I guess Todd knew that this is going to happen, and he saw the writing on the wall, obviously, and that's why he removed his name from it, because he knew that it was a disaster, and there's pretty much no way to salvage it. It was on Game Pass, and it literally had like 35 million. By the way, imagine how bad things really are. If they're quitting Starfield, they're literally getting rid of that garbage. And yet Starfield had like 35 million players. That is an insane amount of players, honestly, even though it was on Game Pass or whatever. And by the way, just a small tidbit from the video we're gonna talking about what's happening at Xbox, the potential shutdown. Those rumors are pretty interesting, but we're gonna see a bloodbath, probably even in Bethesda, in the next year and a half. This is gonna be the true bad part about what's gonna happen to Xbox, because Xbox at this point has gotten rid of so many people into just to make itself a little bit a little bit more profitable. Not really profitable, but they're trying to stem the bleeding. And at this point, they're gonna try and capitalize on their biggest, most impactful franchises. And if those things don't strike it home in the next year and a half or 2 years, there's gonna be more layoffs. Because at this point, Bethesda kind of needs a Baldur's Gate 3. They need their own version of Fortnite in its prime. They need something big. And if they don't get it, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. They're gonna fire a whole lot more people. And then, when that happens, I think Todd's really gonna get the axe. Again, Todd is probably already one leg out the company at this point. He just hasn't been in anything. He has been ignored, and he's not even getting interviewed about what's happening in Bethesda. You know, the woman that wears the jeans has to do it instead of him. It is not a good day to be Bethesda or Todd. Again, there is no way that this event has ended with anything but the full loss of autonomy from Bethesda, which is a good thing, by the way, because again, this is how we're going to get games faster. Now, is that a good thing? No, actually, but at least I'm going to have a lot more content to talk about. In any case, thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye!